Hello, I'm Zaphod Beeblebrox and I'm the British Tech Guru. Or this is the British Tech Guru channel, whichever you fancy. Anyway, this week I haven't got very much to show you, but I did buy some breadboards thinking I could use them with the Raspberry Pi and the Arduino. Wrong. I wanted to mount them straight on this board, but the pinholes are way too small. I don't know how big these pinholes are, but I'm going to guess somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of a millimeter. And of course the pins on my Pico and Arduino are 0.8, 0.9 of a millimeter. I measured them today with a micrometer. So this thing, it was cheap, I just can't use it, which is a pain in the neck. I wanted something I could use. Oh well. Now I've been working with the solar tracker. When I say working, I've got the H-bridge software. I've got software to read the values of the light-dependent resistors. That's all fine. The problem is constructing the actual mechanics itself. I have several options. Now, a lot of makers will use Lego Technic, which is a really excellent thing to use, but since I'll be heating a coin using the power of the sun, my fear is that the coin will melt and set the plastic on fire. So that's so Lego Technic is out. Not that I have any Lego Technic anyway. My hot favourite would of course be Meccano. Now that is really good. I don't have any of that either, but if I wanted to use the mechanics, the cogwheels, I don't have any of those either. That's a common theme, and buying them individually is going to be horribly expensive. I don't know that any of the local charity shops have anything going in their bargain buckets. If they did, it would be lovely, but I'm not going to make a trip to a charity shop just to have a look. What I'm going to try is using little strips of metal and drilling and whatnot. Now the problem there is I really need a miniature drill press. I don't have a miniature drill press. I suppose a jeweler's lathe might work. I don't have one of those either. But for the kind of small stuff I'm doing, yes, a jeweler's lathe would be really good. And I'm not going to be using heavy, hard metal. So the hardest I'll probably use is brass. But I can't get brass strips locally. That would be a lovely thing to use, because I can solder brass and I can bolt it and rivet it and so on. I don't have any. What is available locally is steel strips. Now no problem there, I can weld steel, that's no problem, but it's too heavy. I'm only talking little plastic gears and little tiny electric motors. That steel is just too heavy. So there's aluminium. There are plastic rods available, but I haven't seen any. All I see is on eBay. Well, for this kind of thing, I want to be able to get a source that's local. And I'm drawing a blank right now, which is really annoying, because I want to get going on the construction. And I see no point in just demonstrating the software, because in the software you can just download the code and bang it on the thing, done. And then when you want to put two bits of code together, it's just a simple bit of code modification, and I can do that in Python or C++. I can do that on the Pico or the Arduino. So I have currently several spare Picos couple of spare Pico W's. I have the tiny 88s that I'm probably never going to use because it just seems so hard to get them to work. Poor documentation. So I'm going to stick with Arduino. So I've got some Arduino Nano Everys, and I've got my Adafruit Arduino Metro, which is kind of like a cross-dressed Arduino Uno. Anyway, so I've got all that. I just need the bits for the mechanics right now, and that is the big hold up. That, and of course I'm still working 12 hours a day, and I have to tell you, I get bloody exhausted. And you know, I'm 55. I get bloody exhausted with these 12-hour days, and I have to do probably another 5 weeks of 12-hour days before life slacks off tremendously. I shall be so glad of that. I would love to get myself a job that does not have a 12-hour day, but I don't want a job that has me working. Oh, I've done some horrible jobs in the past. Oh, trust me. Anyway, so maybe I'll get a different job, who knows. But here's something I found the other day, kind of interesting. The transmitter, yeah. It's a radio-controlled car. It's in a dollar store. It cost me $5. It's not very sophisticated. It only has 4 controls. Buttons, yes. Forward, reverse, left, right. And when it turns left and right, it is absolutely crazy. There, you've got either left or right. Here we go. And then forward. Same thing exactly. Oh, and they've got neat little headlamps. So anyway, that was $5. I did not buy that because I particularly want to play with it, he said, lying through his teeth. I looked at that and I thought, that's a prime candidate to hack with an Arduino or a Pico. Be very interesting to see what I can come up with. All kinds of fun things, I think. Of course, it won't go on anything other than a smooth floor, what with those tiny little wheels, but it'll be interesting to try. Whether I'll get round to it or not, I don't know. I have had a little fun with it, zooming it around the place. It seems to turn left better than it turns right. But then that's the same for most vehicles. And was there anything else? Don't know. I don't think so. No. Apart from I might make some political comment. Nah. I was thinking of dismantling a cheap silencer that one of my friends got and explaining exactly why it would never work as a silencer. But I'd probably get YouTube after me for showing a silencer and dismantling it. They're a little bit, shall we say, hair trigger. And the last thing I want to do is to upset the Volks. And in fact, presenting on YouTube is a little bit like being a citizen in East Germany. Instead of the Stasi, you get the Volks. Instead of the KGB in Russia, you get the Volks. So you're going to be denounced for whatever you say. So you either don't post or just keep it strictly on topic, which for this is, I'm going to stick to technology, even though silencers are a form of technology, and it's a fun form of technology where you can talk about how the gas expands into the different chambers in the silencer and is then let out slowly, reducing the noise signature. No silencer is ever silent, but they reduce the noise signature considerably. It's a bit like the muffler in a car. They have baffles, internal baffles, that serve the same purpose. It's just they get hot fairly quickly, probably burn out fairly quickly too. But, again, that is a technology that I'm not going to talk about on my technology channel, because I don't want the woke gods after me. And yeah, you can say I'm afraid of the woke gods. Everybody is. And it's no fun having a strike against your channel. I don't want a strike. So, there we are. I shall keep it PG. My flashing sky LED phallus was probably not PG, which is why I put it behind an 18+ wall. But I'm trying to keep the rest of it PG. And that is quite a challenge when everything non-PG is far more entertaining and far funnier. Anyway, I'll see you again. And this has been Zaphod Beeblebrox with an episode of the British Tech Guru channel.